All right, good morning and I guess good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode 100. 5 years ago, 2021, we started this little itty bitty little talk show, and here we are 5 years later, and episode 100, guys. This is absolutely crazy. So, if you've ever been on our show or you've been a panelist, we appreciate you so much. You guys helped us build this thing and get us to where we are today. I'm super excited. Again, I'm Double R Ricky Rodriguez, the host of Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble. We're going to go and introduce my panel first before we get going on this beautiful Saturday over here in California. It's absolutely gorgeous right now. My first person next to me is the man with the numbers, and he always keeps them up. Agent Drew Sanchez. Andrew, what's up, my dude?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, blessed Saturday, 100. We finally made it.
100. I like that. And this guy next to me with the headphones, he's doing the twinsy thing with me today. It was his birthday last week, so he's still recovering from that. The cameraman with the plan, Giorgio Cholo. What's up, dude?
What's going on? What's going on? And as Ricky says during our broadcast when we do a game, hundo, hundo, hundo,
Hundo!
hundo,
Oh, should have. Dang, I should have
hundo.
jumped on that, man. Good job, George. My
I
partner
got
for
you, Ricky.
5 years. And last but not least is the man who's going to be behind it all for nationals. He's been to nationals before. He's been to regional. He's been to everything. He changes lives daily as a man and as a coach. The coach himself, Coach Anthony McNeely of the Vegas Royals. What's up, Coach?
Well, fellas, how we doing this morning, man? It is a beautiful day in sunny California. The weather is nice, man. It's a beautiful day to go to the beach today, you know.
Oh, maybe in a couple hours. We'll see. There you go. Again, you guys, Take Your Shot Media Crew is sponsored by E1 Connect Marketing, Donovan and Malia Hilton. We appreciate you guys so much for your support throughout all this time. And speaking of which, here's a quick word from E1 Connect Marketing. Think your business needs more marketing? Maybe. But the real problem is that people don't fully understand, trust, or remember your brand. At E1 Connect Marketing Agency, we help businesses discover their hidden gaps between how they see themselves and how their community sees them. Visit e1connectmarketing.com, e1connect.com, and get your free brand DNA checklist. In just a few minutes, you'll uncover opportunities to improve your visibility, trust, recognition, and community engagement. e1connect.com, because before people buy from your brand, they have to believe it. And if you guys know Donovan Hilton, that is a Donovan Hilton commercial right there, man. So shout out to E1 Connect Marketing. All right, all the BS aside, y'all, we had to think about this for weeks, you guys. We're like, who is worthy? We're not worthy. Sorry. Who is worthy to be on episode 100? Somebody who makes a difference, somebody who's made huge changes in so many ways, somebody who changes lives on the daily, someone who loves to bring entertainment, someone who went out and bought something to bring all that this way, someone who could be in the Guinness World Records right now, actually, because of some stuff that he's done. I think we made the right decision, you guys. This guy refounded the ABA in 1999 with his partner Dick Tinkham. It's been 27 years. 1999 is when this happened. He's expanded the ABA from 7 teams to nearly 200 teams nationwide, and I believe Mexico has a league as well. He's created the 7-second rule and the dreaded 3D rule, which is my favorite. He stepped down in 2014, but he returned in 2015, and he's still here today. He had a career in media prior to the ABA in advertising in an alliance group, and he recently changed the name of the ABA to the Real ABA League. I'm talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the CEO, Mr. Joe Newman. Joe, I know we don't have a camera on right now, unfortunately, because of technical issues, but dude, it is an honor to have you on our show today. How you doing, sir?
Well, I am very honored to be on your 100th show and greatly appreciative of it, and also of the description of my background. It makes my head big, and subsequently, if we did have a picture, it wouldn't fit now.
Oh, it's all right. You're in the right group. It's all right. So Joe, what we do, I mean, you've seen our show, and I'm gonna do a real quick disclaimer. I have two disclaimers today, unfortunately. Our first disclaimer is the opinions that are given during the show are the opinions of the panelists and the guests and are not affiliated with Take Your Shot Media Crew in any which way. And due to the nature of the show and due to the positioning of Mr. Newman, anybody who comes on with any negative or rude related question will be booted. With that said, let's have a blast, you guys. I can't wait to hear the history of the ABA. I can't wait to hear how Joe came to be Joe. So, Mr. Newman, first off, I'm like, I don't shake on this show, but I'm like shaking right now, guys. Anybody else shaking? This is crazy.
It's definitely
This is
it's
big.
the air is thick for real. So it's definitely it's definitely a challenge for sure. So, but
No, in a
it's
good
a
way.
fun thing for sure.
In a good way. So, Mr. Newman, first off, the ABA had been around for years. If you've seen the show Soul Power, an amazing show. Amazing show. You guys have to go and watch it. But you and Mr. Tinkham went out, and this was in, I believe, in 1999. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys went out and founded the ABA. What made you guys want to do that? You know, after everything the ABA had been through, and you had seen it firsthand. What made you want to go out and get the ABA in 1999?
Okay, well, you know what? Let's use the name Joe rather than Mr. Newman, so that will be
Okay,
much
we're
easier.
keeping this
I'm Joe.
informal. All right, we'll try the
Okay,
informal. Okay,
very definitely.
got it.
It's interesting because you talked about your marketing group and did a commercial for them
Mm-hmm.
very early on. Well, in the 60s and 70s and 80s, I had a very large advertising agency myself. My background was advertising and marketing and handled many national, regional, and local accounts.
Mm-hmm.
But one and a couple of the local accounts I had were the Indiana Pacers in the original ABA and
Nice.
when they went into the NBA. So I had a
Nice.
good experience with them and knew all of the, or most of the original ABA players, Dr. J, George Gervin, uh,
Nice.
Yeah.
George McGinnis, Moses Malone, and Rick Barry. So I knew them back then. And then they went into the NBA, and Dick Tinkham was the lead attorney in that merger.
Okay.
Uh,
Nice.
the original ABA had one thing going for it: outstanding players. And
Oh
in the
yeah.
first year of the merger, when they merged four teams, most of the All-Star team were ABA players that
That's
from the
true.
four teams that came in.
That is true.
And and but their business model was terrible. And as a result, even though they had six teams still going when the merger happened, um, only four were able to go in. A fifth one, St. Louis, didn't go in and took a different route and
Mm-hmm.
different profits.
Yes.
Well,
The
uh,
silly brothers.
Yeah, the spirits.
I after I sold my ad agency, I went into the broadcasting business and had 16 radio stations
Dang.
around the
Okay.
country, and most in Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, Indiana, Michigan, and did the radio business, but I didn't like the direction that radio was going at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided after retiring from advertising, sold my radio stations and decided to retire a second time. And I happened to go into a McDonald's at 96th and Meridian Street uh, in Indianapolis, and I hadn't seen Dick Tinkham for probably 15 or 20 years, but he was highly involved with the Indiana Pacers and the ABA.
Mm-hmm.
And Dick was standing at the counter next to me, ordering, his egg McMuffin or a double cheeseburger, not sure what. So we lit up that acquaintance after many years. And he said, "Do you want to bring back the ABA?" And I said, "Well, I'm not doing anything now, but yeah, I would bring it back. But there are things about professional sports I don't like. And the one thing I
Mm-hmm.
don't like is the inability for minorities to have ownership in major league teams and professional sports teams. And going back now 25 years, and unless you are Michael Jordan or Magic
Mm-hmm.
Johnson or an Usher or Jay-Z, your chances of having ownership in major professional sports leagues I didn't like. And I said to Dick, I will do it if I can diversify the ownership so that it really represents what America's about. Because most of your players are black, many Hispanic, and your coaches, the good ones are, but the ownership opportunities. So I want to make it easier to own and operate an ABA team than any other, so they cannot use money as the exclusion for ownership.
Mhm.
With that as the base, okay, the that I said I would do it, and I had 8 friends that I could convince to have a minor league team. I'm gonna hang on.
He's
I'll call you
popular.
back in just a few. Thanks. Bye.
That's what happens when you're the boss, man.
I always said if I was in the pizza business, boy, I'd be rich. But hey, it's not. My wife goes crazy all night long, and I should just say, "Joe's Pizza, would you like pepperoni?"
Love it.
Anyway,
I love it.
um, the so what happened is I made it easier to own by really cutting the franchise fees down a lot, and then so many teams came in. The other thing that I noticed is at the level we were at, travel was extremely expensive, so I had to have a lot of teams. So I got 8 friends to
Okay.
buy quote franchises. Uh, and I went to the NBA and said, want to use the ABA name. And of course, working with David Stern, they said, we have the rights to it, and therefore you cannot use it,
Wow.
use the ABA. And I said,
Mhm.
okay, what'll it take to do it? And they said, pay us X number of dollars and we'll give you the rights to the ABA. So that was it. But part of it was you had to have 8 teams to start
Okay.
in the
Hmm.
year 2000. 1 week before the season started, one of the 8 teams dropped out, and so I breached
Oh
the
no.
contract before I started the contract.
Oh no, not a
And
good first impression.
now, so so I put a team in the league with 1 week, 1 week before the season started. No players, no venue, no nothing. I just said, okay, I'll do a team in Indianapolis, and we are now in our 26th season. The record for revenue produced in 2 years. I only said I would do it 2 years until I get more teams. The highest revenue and the highest attendance in the history of this ABA in 26 years was my team. Okay,
Nice.
and but I had the background of advertising, marketing, and broadcasting, so I really had the ingredients because I tried to explain to everybody it's the business of
Mm-hmm.
basketball that makes this work, not the game. There are so many great players, and I will tell you the quality of our players in the ABA are such that we could compete with G League teams. We could complete, and I have players in our league that should be on NBA teams, but
Oh,
there's
for sure.
only so many spots available. So the talent is terrific, but the game was boring, and you all are basketball oriented. The game that the pros were playing, the NBA was playing, boring. The game the international teams were playing, boring. The games that colleges were playing, boring. So I said, I'm going to take the best rules of the NBA, the best rules of international, the best rules of the NCAA, and I'm going to add 2 or 3 little minor rules that'll make it a full court,
Mm-hmm.
high scoring game. And one of the things I did was to use the college 3-point line because everybody in the NBA got into the NBA because of their ability to shoot threes, and they grew up in that environment. And then all of a sudden they're asking them to add 2 or 3 feet to to a 3-point shot. And yet they've been practicing all their life. So we use the college 3-point line. I use sweeping off the basket, the officials not having to touch the
Mm-hmm.
ball after a basket, and added 3D, where if you get a turnover in the backcourt, so it would make pressing and trapping and you could not just walk down the court like the centers were doing. So all of a sudden, we created a super game and built the league into what it is today. And how's that for a paragraph?
Oh my God, Joe, wow. And you know, first off, I love the 3D. I absolutely love the 3D. Me and
Mhm.
Joshua Pangan, who just logged in right now, the former voice of the Geniuses, has been a voice with me as well. we go nuts with the 3D. George, same thing. Any kind of turnover, we just get crazy with our broadcast. But I love the fact that you have the trifecta. You know, you said you're in business, you were in radio, and you were in broadcasting. You need all of that to get into this industry, especially this industry. And the fact that you said it was boring just made me start laughing because if you go back in history, it's true. A lot of the NBA games were just literally bounce the ball, shoot the ball, bounce the ball, shoot the ball. But the fact that you have all these rules to help speed up the ABA makes it very exciting. Well, me and George say this on our broadcasts all the time that it's fast paced, it's gonna go quick, you're gonna have to keep your eyes open, stuff like that. So that rule again is one
Yeah.
of my favorites, and I'm so glad that you made that rule. A lot of players don't like it, or we've had players on our show though that didn't even know it existed when they came into the game. So
Yeah.
we've had a couple players that actually talked about that. So I thought that was
Yeah,
um,
Ricky. I was
pretty
gonna.
funny. Go ahead, Drew.
No, I was gonna say, Mr. Joe. It's kind of like well, like he talks about the origin of the ABA back in the late '60s and early '70s, and of course we all seen Soul Power and something. And my dad will talk about the old days, and that was the reason why the NBA incorporated the ABA is because of that fast pace. They were the ones that remember at one point the NBA it was illegal to dunk,
Yeah.
so. And you
Mhm.
had Dr. J that was doing crazy stuff in the ABA. You had the Iceman, George Garvin, doing things that were like phenomenal. Skywalker. You had these guys doing all these personalities, and that's what the ABA incorporated. So the fast paced style, street ball, so to speak, mentality. And there's a lot of things now influenced in the NBA. You see a guy come run up the court, like a guy like Wemby, and he's launching a three from the logo. That all incorporated came from the ABA style basketball. And Joe here explaining, saying, the 3D rule, yeah, people will hate it, but it's also a love hate because we always say no lead is comfortable in the ABA. You
Mm-hmm.
could be up by 10, get two, three, or three 3Ds, and all of a sudden
And
that
end
lead
the
is down
game.
to one or two.
Mm-hmm. No, we say that all the time.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say the same thing what Drew said. Like Drew nailed it on the head. So like you're never out of the game in a ABA game. So that's what makes it so unique about this league. So yeah, I agree with Drew said, and yeah, just keep it going.
I
Yeah,
feel the
no,
3D. I feel the 3D rule is definitely what's the best way I can put it.
the X factor.
Well, the X factor is one thing, but it can
Game changer.
definitely. It's not game changer is another way too, but it's when you're the
Game changer.
beneficiary. When you're the beneficiary of a 3D, it's a lot more exciting and a lot more prevalent than being on the receiving end. You
Ain't
know what I
that the
mean?
truth?
So that can be, you get a turnover in the backcourt and a layup. Or a field goal. That's 3 points added to your total score. You get a turnover and a 3-pointer. That's four. You make a half court shot before the end of the half or before the end of the game. That's five.
Mm-hmm.
If you commit a 3D and if you commit a 3D and you shoot a
Tip
field goal
out.
and you make the free goal,
Yeah.
it's an and one. That's four. You've committed 3D and you shoot a 3-pointer and that's four. And then you commit a foul. It's five. It's
It hurt my head.
It's very unique.
wow. I've been on my fair share on the receiving end of
Yes,
3D
you
calls and
have.
how
Hmm.
momentum swings and everything. That's a complete momentum swing.
Yep.
So and a couple of two or
Yeah.
three 3Ds in the right
Mm-hmm.
scenario can change the entire complexion of the game. So,
100. Josh, you've been on the mic for many of these calls, 3D, 7-second rules. First
Yeah,
off, what do you want to say to Joe? Anything, because you didn't get an intro to Joe. And
yeah,
then what do you want to tell him about your opinion of the 3D rule, the 7-second rule, or any ABA rule that he has brought to the table?
yeah. Well, first off, Joe, again, I just want to say hi, introduce myself. I'm Joshua Pang, and I commentate for San Diego Geniuses of the ABA when they were around. I also commentated for the Chula Vista Suns, now San Diego Suns, when they were top 10 team in the league. So that was a lot of fun, and I've done other things as well with Ricky. But I'll just keep it short. I'm so happy that you're on this podcast. It's really means a lot to us, and it's just amazing to have you on here. So again, thank you for agreeing to do this, man. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then as far as the 3D rule is concerned, oh man, I remember when I first came to the ABA, like first year in, when I met Andrew and Ricky and all these guys, and they were explaining the 3D rule to me, and I at first I thought they were joking. I was like, "That's not a real rule," you know. I was like,
You
that
thought
can't
him
be real.
and
There's
Drew were
no way."
trolling.
And it was. I'm like, "Oh, well, how does this thing work?" Because it's very interesting. And then the 7 second rule in the backcourt. Okay, that's easy. You're just taking a second off from the NBA. Easy, fast pace. I get that, but no, the 3D rule. It's funny because y'all be commentating these games, and every time there's a that like
Going through a tunnel.
snap into another level.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's right though.
Like quick competition, right? Like whether it's attacking or defending, they're like, oh, like okay, now we really have to go, and you just see more energy. And funny thing about 3D, like I'll be commentating other games every now and then, or playing at the park with friends and whatnot, and then a turnover will be in the backcourt, and I just hear myself like 3D, 3D, and
Same.
everybody's like, what the hell are you talking
Same.
about? I'm like, shit, we're not in the NBA.
I did that during a college game. I did that
You know
during
what
a
I
college
mean?
game.
Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, so it's
That's-
definitely I mean it's a very unique rule, Joe. Like it's nowhere else. And again, every now and then you got me being like 3D. Oh wait, this isn't the ABA. You know
Yeah,
what
I've
I
done
mean?
that.
So
It's
it's
getting us
very
in
unique.
trouble.
High school. It's high school.
It just
Well,
means, Joe.
the word 3D, the word 3D, when we were sitting at McDonald's, and
Okay.
I think Dick had a double cheeseburger, and he had a double cheeseburger, and I wrote on the napkin 3D. Let's call it 3D. That came from that McDonald's. Who knows? It might not have been 3D if he'd have ordered a egg McMuffin.
Oh,
So
that's
that,
good.
Could be
Oh, I
called.
Oh,
Oh
didn't even know
God,
that.
could be calling it the
so
egg shot.
McDonald's. Do you?
Thank you, McDee's.
So, wait, so McDonald's actually should get a
Shout out,
royalty.
No,
shout out to
they get
no,
enough
bro.
money.
no, they
Shout
gotta
out to
sponsor
McDonald's.
us.
Shout out to McDonald's, man.
Yeah,
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
McDonald's.
McDonald's. I
yeah,
love
Joe.
their fries and I love their burgers
There
and their
you go. All right, Joe, we got to get a
you
national
know,
sponsor from them.
I don't know if you know, the international rules are really terrific
Hmm.
Mhm.
rules with what they do, especially allowed to sweep the ball off the rim, and especially
Hmm.
Mhm.
because the refs don't have to touch the ball after a basket, so that your forwards can head down court and the fast breaks are good. It's the game is a fun game, and whatever the rules are, that's what people will watch. The other part of it is making it fan friendly and affordable.
Hmm.
Everybody talks about affordability right now, and yet the cost of going out, even to fast food restaurants and to the movies and other alternative entertainment, to be able to go to an ABA game for $10 for a ticket, or kids going for $5 and their hot dogs being $1, or the hot or soft drinks being $1 water. It's so fan friendly and affordable, and I think the biggest thing is that it gives our players an opportunity to make their skills better. And we send about 400 to 500 players a year
Hmm.
abroad to international teams because the coaching in the ABA is really good. I mean, we have really good coaches that improve players considerably.
Hmm.
And we adapted the phrase opportunity for ownership, opportunity for coaches, opportunity for players, opportunity for local sponsors, opportunity for the fans
Hmm.
to enjoy good sports entertainment at affordable prices. I see us doing a lot of good. What I don't see us, and why I appreciate being on a podcast like today, is we don't really get the national exposure we should.
Hmm.
And I don't think enough people, because we've never had television nationally,
Hmm.
I don't think enough people in the world know about us and appreciate us,
Hmm.
even though our website and our Facebook and social media pages draw hundreds of thousands of fans. I don't
Hmm.
think we've achieved what we would want to achieve. I got to take the blame for it. So when you open the show giving me all the credit, along with the credit comes the blame and accepting the responsibility, and which is why I love being on shows like this, because more and more people are exposed to what we have.
And Mr. Joe, sorry, that means a lot to us. Like every single one of us down here, we been trying as hard as we can to get that exposure. I mean, me and George alone worked for 5 ABA teams this past season, just to get that exposure for those teams. Times where we made like $10 for the game, it just depends. It's not about the money, it's about the exposure. It's about getting those people overseas, getting those people to Mexico, getting those people to Canada, and like you said, affordable. We got teams here that don't even charge for admission sometimes, they make their money off of their food or their merch or whatever it is. So you honestly, I take that as a huge compliment that you mentioned that we are trying to expose. I mean, I can't say who, but we got people coming up in the next couple weeks from all over the country. And we even had a girl from Egypt one time. So we take that as a
I
huge compliment,
remember.
sir. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for noticing that. And thank you for following us. People don't know, but you've been following us for a while. And I truly appreciate you. Whether we had our falling out, we apologize for the past. But hey, the past is the past. You grow, you learn. And me and you, I know our relationship got better a couple of years ago when I was interim GM of the Hounds. I learned a lot from you. And I want to say thank you personally on air here for helping me walk through that season because I was green as grass. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And you helped me a lot. And I truly appreciate that. So thank you. And thank you for complimenting Coach McNeely as well because he does make a difference.
Oh, let me tell you, Al Smith is the regional chairman out there,
Hmm.
and we have some good teams. You mentioned Eric Brown, good guy. I mean, really, we really have some nice teams, and of course, the Silicon Valley
Love those guys.
Panthers 2 years in a row had made the Final Four. Very, very, very top flight team,
Hmm.
good ownership group. But I will tell you, it's very competitive out there. The Las
Very.
Vegas Royals are a competitive, strong team, and
He's
we have the
blushing.
new Henderson Gamblers coming in this year. Is going to be a very competitive team. The Hounds are good, and so I think overall, and Farron is such a good guy too. I really like
Mhm.
all of the people out in the West there, and we're bringing the ABA finals to Las Vegas
And
this year.
sir,
And
we are so excited for you doing that. You don't even know. We've been talking about it for years, trying to get it out here to the
Years.
West. And you remember Robert Hamilton was trying to get it to San Bernardino because they had that big
yep.
building, and we were ready. I was with the Hounds that year. We were ready. We were excited. The fact that you're giving us a chance out here in the West, I promise you, we're not going to let you down. No pressure, Ant.
Oh,
We're
I
not. No,
no
we're not
doubt,
going to let
no
you down.
doubt.
And after hearing what you just heard
And
from
it's like, really?
Joe Newman. No, but just first off, the compliment on you changing lives as a coach, the fact that they trust us to bring nationals here, and the fact that he just praised your team personally. How does that make you feel? He's smiling. He can't stop smiling. Look at him. He's like a little kid.
You can see me behind the picture.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what's really unique? You see me right up on, you see me center right on the screen behind you.
Yeah,
What people find unique is that I'm 89 years old,
don't believe that.
and people, find that sort of unique that go to work every day. We're going to make three major announcements either this week or the first week. Well, this is the first week in June or the second week in June. Three really interesting major announcements about the ABA
Anything
because
you can
I have,
hint at?
uh, well,
I'm a journalist. I
Don't
gotta
get him
ask.
in trouble,
I
Ricky.
gotta. He can't get in
well,
trouble. He's the boss.
I think one we're gonna announce two. One of the things I want to do is when you watch the NBA or Major League Baseball or the NFL, they have official partners of the
Yeah.
NBA. So you might see Toyota or Allstate
Okay.
Insurance or McDonald's or Budweiser. We're signing our first two official partners of the ABA
Yes. Yes.
nationally this week and next week.
That's
And
awesome.
then since we had Spalding as a ball, the official ball of the ABA, we've been freelancing it, importing our own, buying from a wide variety of sources. We're announcing a new official ball of the ABA with a
Nice.
major national manufacturer,
All
and we're
right.
going to be announcing that, and also a new apparel and uniform supplier, manufacturer, official partner of the ABA.
Okay.
And then I don't think it will happen the first 2 weeks. We will have we will have a national TV game of the week.
Nice. We've been waiting for
Okay.
that.
but I can't announce it yet
Of course you
because
can't, but
It's
y'all
yeah,
heard
that's
it
fine.
here. Y'all heard it here first
Oh,
from the man himself.
yeah.
Oh, we're excited. I love that. That's all
We
stuff we've been
we
talking
hired
about.
for the first.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we hired a marketing company, the Tony Prescrow and Alex Lockhart. They do the marketing for NASCAR, and
okay.
they sell the sponsorships for NASCAR. And I looked at you can get a sponsorship of a decal the size of a nickel costs you $100,000 to
Oh
be
my
on a race car.
gosh.
And I'm
Yeah.
saying, well, if you can do that, how come sell some sponsorships for us? And
Hmm.
so we they are now talking to very good national sponsors, soft drinks, waters, insurance,
Nice.
airlines, cars, and stuff. Will we get them for this year? Don't know. We got two, but I just was on a phone call a little while ago with Damon saying, now that we have two, I want to get together with you, Brian, Arnie, and a couple of others. What are we going to give them for their money?
Hmm.
So all of a sudden we're now challenged. We now have to come up with something that's worth their doing, and that's what we're going to be working on this week.
Oh my
That's
God.
very
That is so
That's
cool.
that is
Good. And
awesome.
that we've been talking about that for years, that when this was going to happen. And we got the scoop right here on Take Your Shot Media Crew, episode 100 of all shows. Sorry, go ahead, Ant. I had to say that.
No, you're good. Well, first and foremost, I as the coach of the team, for the last this will be my sixth season going in. The kind words definitely means a lot, not just for myself, but for the Las Vegas organization, and to be a representative of the Western region for the last 6 years. But I can't take all the credit for that because there is a person with a bigger vision that brought me in, and that was Dominique. And we shared the same things. We butt heads on a lot of things, but one thing we do care about is the culture of Las Vegas, its basketball environment, and be as trying to put out the strongest team we can to compete each year. We've done some great things together, being a representative of the Western region of the ABA, and we continue to do that. As far as the personal praise, I'm more than flattered. I'm more than flattered. It means a lot. Coming from myself, this would be going into my 16th and my 17th season coaching basketball altogether.
Terrific.
And majority of it has been on the semi-professional level or professional level. And to get that type of praise from a Joe Newman means a lot to myself because Joe Newman wears a lot of hats. Joe wears a lot of hats throughout the year. He has the final say so on everything. Joe Boss. Joe Newman is literally the final boss of the ABA. And for him to have such a high praise for myself, and he's mentioned names like Eric Brown, and he's mentioned Coach Doc for Silicon Valley, and he has mentioned Coach Al, and being the chairman for the Western region to be amongst those names mentioned, means a hell of a lot to me. On my background, actually, as a matter of fact, that's a picture of me and Joe Newman at an owners
Hmm.
meeting.
Oh, that's what it
Yeah.
Um,
was. Okay.
Yeah.
so I didn't think I was gonna ever have a chance to post this picture, but, to hear that from Joe, man, it's definitely been a pleasure and an honor to being a representative of this league for yourself. And I really appreciate the opportunity and everything. And I just want to make you proud the best way we can. And I want to kind of piggyback off the accountability for yourself and your contributions to the ABA. As much as we appreciate the contributions and as much as we appreciate your accountability on certain things, don't ever say yourself that you've fell short on certain things because of the things that we've been able to accomplish and you've been able to accomplish for this league over your tenure as CEO and ownership has been more than exceeding the expectation, for the benefit of keeping fans in mind,
Hmm.
economies, players' lives, coaches' lives, and the minority aspect, and all of the things that you've mentioned in the beginning. It's like Murphy's Law. Everybody, you can do 99.9% of the things right in this world, but people only really care about that 0.1% because they want to
Mm-hmm.
find something to complain about. And if that's going to be your only blemish, then hell, what a ride, what a hell of a ride it was, or what a hell of a
Mm-hmm.
ride it is. But to say that, I want to respectfully disagree because I do believe that your contributions, now learning from getting your perspective and actually getting a chance to actually have a conversation with you, you've done more than enough to push this league forward and put individuals in a position to be successful. So again, if that's going to be the only blemish, it takes a village. So that's not just on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody buying in across the country. And if you're going to say that, I truly believe that if we were to get constant buy-in from everyone swallow their pride and actually believe in a specific vision, not one position, not one pocket here, another pocket here, a whole region doing this. If everybody does remotely the same thing, that vision could still come into fruition. But I just really wanted to tell you thank you for the praise and your acknowledgments for everything. And I just want to tell you I appreciate you for that.
Well, those are awful kind words, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of the coaches, all of the players in the league because they play for the right reasons. They play for the spirit of competition. And when I see our players, they're not NBA players making millions of dollars, diving for balls, fighting for
Mm-hmm.
rebounds, blocking out, taking hits, getting pushed, and all the stuff they do because they are competitors,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes it unique. It's one thing when you're doing it for your high school, one thing you're doing it for college, one thing if you're doing it for money like you do in the NBA, but when you do it for the pure spirit of competition and it means so much, that's what makes all of this worth it. So many of your players, and Dom was a great player too, and so many of your players have the ability to be playing not only internationally but G League and
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
also in the NBA. You know that much of the some of the reasons they don't, not only because there's not enough room in the NBA, but it is the mental part of it. Physically, I looked at our players at the Final Four. They are fabulous physically. It is the coaching that makes it mentally uh, competitive, and
Mm-hmm.
people like you, Anthony, that take the time so that they understand uh, the mental side of this game. The fact that you're not playing one 48-minute game, but you're playing 48 1-minute games. You're not playing a entire quarter. You are playing a single possession. They score or you score. You stop them or they stop you. And it's like Bobby Knight used to say, win the minute, you'll win the game. Okay? Win the minute, you'll win the game. And so what makes our players good is that they don't quite have it, but their coaches are making them better at what they do and giving them a chance to
Mm-hmm.
ultimately go to whether it's a TBL or whether it's to the G League or to
Mm-hmm.
the NBA or to international. You can't appreciate the coaching enough, and I see it in the Las Vegas Royals, excellent, but I see it just generally around the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I when I went down to the Final Four and I watched what was happening, the dynamic. I got an email last night. This this was a remark. I might have erased it, but a owner, I won't say which one, says he has a mentally challenged player whose life is basketball, and he wanted to know whether he had to be on the official roster or would it be possible for him to dress and be on the team and not to count as one of the
Hmm.
12 players. And I said, absolutely, because this means more than just. And I said, and he'd be eligible to get in the game if you ever want him to be in the game. But that is a, I'll get rid of it. That is a, uh, something that's unusual. And then, we added a deaf team, hearing impaired team to the ABA. and we
Awesome.
have now two Native American teams in the
Hmm.
ABA. And you see all of this exciting, glorious opportunity. Really good. So,
Miss,
it's
no,
pretty good.
I agree. I think that's amazing. And Anthony, I have one more Vegas question, and then I would like to move on to expanding teams because world record amount of teams right now. But I gotta ask, you got beautiful San Diego. I know San Bernardino is not like the best city, but it's a good basketball city. You got Linwood, where Al's at. They have a really good venue over there. What made you guys choose Vegas
For the
for the finals
finals,
for nationals? Yeah.
because the West is long overdue. You know, it's a lot of expense. Eric Brown from San Diego Suns had to go to St. Louis 2 years ago. Silicon
Hmm.
Valley has to come all the way east,
Atlanta.
and to bring those players and coaches and people, it's very expensive. It's one thing, you know, if
Hmm.
you're in Chicago to drive to there, you know, so we owed it to the West Coast to have a playoff there. And of course, a lot of people know I have deep roots in uh, Las Vegas. I used to
Hmm.
own KVOV in Henderson,
Oh, cool.
and
Really?
Uh-oh, here we go. Story time.
Yeah.
yeah, and sold
Okay.
that station. But my sister Lori just sold the Poker Palace on North Las Vegas Boulevard. She was a casino owner. My younger brother Rich, who passed away, was on television there for many years and had a large marketing company. My brother Ted, who passed away, was a pit boss at Caesar's Palace, and I have nieces and nephews that are working at the Palms and other locations out there in the gaming industry. So I have a long relationship, and of course, my parents, who have also passed away, God love them, they retired to Las Vegas. So I have nieces, nephews, and cousins and loaded in Las Vegas, and it's the perfect place to be. We're looking at venues now to where to have the finals, and are
Hmm.
down to one or two, and we're looking at hotels to where we'll have the ABA League meeting and a couple of other events there.
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely looking forward to coming to Las Vegas. Long overdue, much needed, and well deserved because uh, you know Lilani brought her team
Hmm.
out to one of the playoffs in the East one time, and so we've had several teams coming from the West through
Hmm.
the years, and it costs a lot of money, so they deserve the break and financing.
And honestly, sir, speaking on behalf of the West Coast and the Pac South, Pac North, we appreciate that very much. I do agree it's long overdue. We are beyond excited. I know Anthony's just jumping jittery right now because he will be the host team, and you couldn't pick a better host. Him and Dom are going to absolutely kill it. And you got us on the call. You got George on the camera. I promise you, we're not going to disappoint. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of not disappointing, again, you guys are listening and watching episode 100 of Double Dribble, the Big Boss with Mr. Joe Newman, the CEO of the Real ABA League. We are sponsored by E1 Connect Marketing. And again, we do want to get a real quick word from E1 Connect Marketing. Think you need more marketing? Maybe. But what if people just don't fully understand, trust, or remember your brand? At E1 Connect Marketing Agency, we help uncover the gap between how you see your business and how your community sees it. Visit e1connect.com for your free brand DNA checklist and discover new opportunities to boost visibility, trust, and recognition. e1connect.com because belief comes before business. Again, that's all Donovan right there, I'm telling you. So, okay, Joe, so this is the perfect segue. We were just talking about teams and how you're having more teams and the teams that have to travel. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. You went from 7 teams to nearly 200 teams nationwide. I believe we got Liga ABA Max. And is the rumor true? I heard that there's possibly a Canada League starting up.
We gave the not gave, but we made a deal for the rights to Canada. We have ABA Australia.
Oh,
We
what? I
have
didn't know that.
ABA Mexico. We are we are launching ABA Puerto Rico.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm Puerto Rican. Go on.
Okay, and and guess who part of the ownership group is?
Oh my God.
Lamar Odom.
No
Oh,
way.
what?
Nice.
The former
Another big
Laker?
scoop. Another big scoop right here on
Yep,
Double Dribble. I love it.
yep. And he and they have a website. I wish I had that in front of me right now. I'd give it to you.
No, you
But
can email it to me later. I'll put it on our website or on our
they
Instagram for
have
sure.
they have are doing things really right. They already have 4 teams set up, and they have and all of the management, other than the Puerto Rican management, is LA based and Las Vegas based. And
Nice.
so these are people that are probably familiar to you all too, and that's about ready to break. And I took a concentration off of international ABA a little bit because
Okay.
I wanted to make improvements in our core product, the ABA,
Of course.
and so we're doing some really good, not dramatic things,
Mhm.
but interesting things because we just don't want to stand still.
Is that why you guys did the rebrand on the Instagram with the new name?
Yeah, well, the name is still American Basketball Association at realabaleague.com. I changed the website because I
Okay.
thought it was I thought it was a little boring, and I wanted it to be a little more interactive. And I
Okay.
wanted people that wanted the stats, wanted tickets, wanted different things to be able to get them a little bit easier.
Okay.
We hit on the Facebook page. If you've been to Facebook, American Basketball Association, my daughter took over operating that last month,
Okay.
not this month. We had 300,000 visitors to that to the Facebook page,
Wow.
and so we know we're building a good following because she's putting really interesting stuff on it, and like your podcast, not that I'm on your 100th, but you build your audience by the quality of the guests you have
Mhm.
and the subjects that you talk about. And as long as you provide good, solid information to your audience, minus my picture, but that's all right.
You got a picture on Anthony's background. We're good.
Yeah. The but as long as you keep interesting guests and ask
Hmm.
interesting questions, you'll build your audience and it will grow. I don't know what you do to publicize it, but if you were to send me, for example, send me your website or how to reach it, I'll put that up on the ABA website
That's a
because
bet.
we do get hundreds of thousands of visitors, and I'll put it up on Facebook also that uh, and publicize it. Maybe we can help you build your audience more on a
I'll be
national level too.
I'll be taking notes, fellas.
I'm writing that down right now. It's already highlighted in bright yellow.
Okay, that logo behind you, for example, if
Uh-huh.
I had that, I'd put that on the Facebook page
Got it.
and how to link it, and I'd have Susie put that on there. Be happy to do it.
That is a
Now,
bet. That's a bet. I'm gonna do that after the show.
here's the bigger thing. Because you all are Las Vegas oriented and West Coast oriented, we'd be pleased if you all, and when we'll talk about it, are the commentators and the color and the announcers at the ABA finals.
Yes,
Because,
there it is. I was waiting for that. Oh my God. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
all right, and we'll have television out there, but the TV that we had at the finals was pathetic. The announcing was pathetic. Everything was bad about it. Won't be this year. And with your background and knowledge of the ABA, you will be, and I'll make it official. in an email to you that whoever wants to participate in the broadcast of the ABA finals, the ABA 3-on-3, the ABA All Star will be from this group of people
Oh
that
my
are on
God.
this right now.
You don't understand, sir, how much that means to us. I mean, just me and George, we've been together for 6 years, and we do games where we make $5 driving to San Diego, $10 going to San Diego, just for the exposure. And now for you to give us this opportunity, it's huge. And for Drew to get his stats out and see national teams, international teams, and for Josh to be an analytic on, I'm speechless, and I get paid to talk. Like, I'm speechless right now, guys. Who's got something? Josh, you got anything?
It's just
Uh, yeah, I mean it's amazing, and it really is an honor. And I just want to say thank you, Joe, for believing in us in a way. We won't let you down. It's definitely very exciting.
Hey man, listen, I'm just a special contributor to this show, man. Y'all doing a hell of a job, man. I'm proud to be in y'all space, man.
Well,
George?
also, if I would like to get a local PA announcer. I don't know who does the Vegas games or who do the Henderson games, but it was really bad down at the finals in Atlanta this year, and I was all over Damon.
I
I like color and like my I don't know if you know my dad was I
mhm.
grew up around sports. My dad in the 30s was the announcer for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And
Wow.
so we grew, and
What?
he brought Red Barber
Oh
into
my
the
God, that's
business, and he
awesome.
brought Mel Allen, the Yankee announcer, into the
Oh
business.
wow.
And so we grew up around the Knicks and the
Yeah.
Giants and
Oh my
the
God.
Yankees and the New York Giants. He was a boxing announcer
Hmm.
primarily and a horse
That's
racing
so
announcer
cool. Oh my
primarily.
God, that's so
So
cool.
it had a never really wanted to get into sports, but had a good
Hmm.
background in sports and love them.
No. Well, I'll tell you right now, sir. Worst comes to worst, me and George, we've been partners for 6 years.
Mhm.
George has been my partner on all our broadcasts, with the exception of the ones I've been with Josh or with the Clume boys from Guy Levy Legends. I've even had this crazy guy Drew with me a couple times. That's always entertaining. Um, but Joshua is an amazing PA announcer, and I don't toot my own horn. I'm a pretty good PA announcer myself, but it would be an honor to do the
Yes.
play-by-play. And worst comes to worst, me and George can be on the mic while George is filming, and Josh would be the best PA announcer
Yeah,
you could
he's.
possibly have.
I can contest to that. We've gotten Josh to do some NCAA. He actually got his he got his big break for the Division 1 NCAA, because I do a lot with NCAA out here in San Diego. I've done San Diego State, USD, and we got Josh. We used him for PA for baseball and softball this year. So it would be a great honor to have it, and just hearing it from of hearing it from you, Mr. Joe, it's unbelievable to think that me, who's been around this game now for 37 years, doing stats these last 7+ years, whether it was with the Chula Vista Suns back in the day when I was pretty much taking an internship during the COVID year. I
Hmm.
would drive, costing myself, $200 to $300, maybe if I was making $20, doing games, going out to Arizona when we've had jump offs out there with the Phoenix teams, and not getting paid at all, and negative $400 in my pocket, just to try to do stats, just to make them that accurate and that precise, because I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to stats, because I know stats. It's just like my motto says on my banner, no stats, no game, because a lot of these guys, like you said, they're not making the money of the NBA. So to get them looked at in an international market, or a G League team, or even a big three, because we've had guys go there, they have to look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. And when you're pulling in 300K followers following your Facebook or Instagram, and a lot of these guys depend on your stats. And for me, just being instrumental, that little insufficient sometimes stat of me plugging it in pays dividends to those guys moving forward, and just knowing that I'm going to be the one providing the stats for nationals and for the finals. I'm truly honored, and almost like Ricky said, I'm at tears almost, because it's been a journey. It's been a long journey where people, we've all had breaks. I've lived out of my car for a little. I lived out of a car for a little while, about a year and a half ago. I was running on rough times and stuff, so I'm very grateful.
Well, you're certainly welcome. Let me talk about going across, George and Double
Mhm.
R and Josh and Drew and you. Have you ever thought about having your own ABA team?
It's funny that you say that, Mr.
We talk
Mr.
about this
Joe.
all the
Actually,
time.
Yeah.
actually,
It's so funny that you say that. It's so funny you say that, Joe. There's been times where I've been in the car with Josh and I say, look, if the money is still the same, where I think it's $300 to get a franchise. I said, look, the five of us clowns here, if
We
we
could,
all just put in $60, we can own an ABA team. And I would be like, getting players is not a problem. I do agency work on the side, getting guys international things. I was like, I could find players. We could find a coach easily. We could find the location with Ricky and George can do some stuff. Josh on the PA commentating, me doing the stats. I mean, it would be a top tier A level team. I think. I don't know what we would call ourselves. We'd
oh
probably
God.
argue of what name we're gonna call
Oh, for
ourselves.
Oh,
sure.
we'll be bumping
Well,
heads for
let's
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
let's do something really unusual here.
Why
Number
not?
one,
It's
to own
us.
an ABA team is not $300. It's a
It's a lot
one-time
more.
$2,500. But
Okay.
if you all would get together collectively and pick a market, and if it's not, it can't be for 26 because we're doing our schedule, but for 27 or 28, um, I will waive the $2,500 marker reservation fee, and you can pick a city as long as you pick a city that we do not have a team in that's close enough for you all. Um, I'll award you with an ABA team and something you can think about and talk about for 2027. But you could come in to the league now and start all of the things you need to do. The business of basketball. We have probably the finest uh, package that exists, and it's A to Z on how to operate the business of basketball. No doubt, coaching wise and stat wise and operations wise and marketing wise, you know what you're doing. But we have that all constructed, so you can just put that in your file. And if you decide one day the collectively you'd like to have an ABA team, you got it, and I'll just waive that.
Bro, what did we just hit like the
I
Monopoly, like get out of jail free card, bro? I feel like that's like
I know. We come
crazy.
full circle, y'all. If y'all you know, you know. That's all I'm
Wow.
gonna say. Yeah, I gotta do
Wow.
some history on our relationship. That's I again I'm
That's
speechless. And yes,
amazing. Wow.
financially definitely we struggle. I too have been through my share of stuff. As McNeely knows, he's helped me through a lot of it, and so has George and Drew and Josh. But we always say life is bigger than or life before basketball. And
Yeah,
the way that
absolutely.
we've been carrying the stories you've told, it's all pushed towards that approach, and I appreciate that. I I'm like stuttering right now. I appreciate that so much. We're about 1 hour into the show right now. Again, guys, this is episode 100 of Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble, episode 100, the Big Boss with Mr. Joe Newman, the CEO of the American Basketball Association. Joe, we're about 1 hour in. Are you okay for another 30 minutes or so?
Sure,
All
sure.
right. That sounds
Okay.
good. So I want to go and keep going because we literally, believe it or not, none of us have to leave except Josh because he's got a big boy job. Um, we could talk to you all day. This is crazy. Well, at least until Game 7 comes on, you know. Anyway, Josh, Josh, I was gonna jump into daily business routine of a CEO, but if you want to ask that question, you can. But I know you got to get going, so I'm gonna let you ask another question to Mr. Joe Newman.
All right, Joe. It's been an honor being on here. Unfortunately, I wish I could stay on for the last 30 minutes, but unfortunately, duty calls and there's nothing I could do about it. I tried to, get something out of it, but I couldn't. But so I guess my only question to you before I go would be, when it's all said and done, like what do you ultimately want people to remember about the ABA or your legacy or this legacy of the league and all that? Like what are you hoping to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I think the answer to that is that we gave so many people opportunities to do what they love to do. The players a chance to play, coaches a chance to coach. We have 300 officials on our official staff that are NCAA officials and high school officials that are ABA, and they have an opportunity to do what they love to do. That we've given so much opportunity for fans to have fan-friendly, exciting basketball at affordable prices, and and that we were able to survive. When I came in the league, there was a CBA and IBL and PBL and BLBL,
Yeah.
BLBLs all over the place.
All
We're
the
going
BS.
into our 26th year, still growing. We've given a lot of players chances to move up and to I've got probably 10 or 15 ex-coaches that now own ABA teams. Dominic, for example, was a ABA All-Star and
Mm-hmm.
owns the Las Vegas team, and St. Augustine owned by a former player, and we got quite a few former players that went on to coach, went on to ownership, and I think that's the legacy that I have. My career before I retired was famous for advertising,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went into Spanish language broadcasting and got a tremendous amount of notoriety in Spanish language broadcasting and won many awards in that arena. And so I look at a lifetime at my age of doing what I wanted to do. Have I made a fortune like you do in the NBA or NFL or Major League Baseball? No. But do I sleep at night and do I enjoy what I'm doing? I wouldn't be doing it at 89 if I didn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And meeting people like yourself is really good. It's fun for me, and I'm always honored when I get to be on podcasts and people take an interest in what we're doing and what I'm doing, and so yeah, it's been fun, and that I think is what I'll take with me. I will tell you a funny story. I was in a LA, I went to LA and um, I had a meeting out in LA with Jamie Foxx.
No way.
And
Oh
went up
wow.
I went up to Jamie Foxx's office. Somebody said I'm waiting to meet Jamie Foxx, and I walk into the room, and Jamie Foxx jumps up and says, "God, Joe Newman, I always wanted to meet you." And I said, "You got to be absolutely kidding." So Jamie Foxx takes me to a comedy showcase at a theater with a red carpet, and on it are many black celebrities. And I get out of the car and am walking on the red carpet, and they stopped me with a microphone and said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Joe Newman with the ABA." "That's nice." And I said, "Aren't you going to ask me who I'm wearing?" And they said, "Who are you wearing?" And I said, "My slacks are by Docker, and my jewelry is by Timex." And I went in. I'm the only white person in the entire theater. And Jamie assigns me two beautiful young women, Trixie and Dixie. And so I said, "I can't believe I'm here."
George
So
is dying.
so Trixie and Dixie and I
Oh man.
are
Dixie
back
and
to the
Dixie?
stage. I put it on the phone. I call my wife and I said, "Con, I'm out in Hollywood working hard to move the ABA forward. It's tough, but somebody's got to do it." And I've got Trixie on one side and Dixie on the other side. That's
Hey
my
man,
that's my LA story.
hey man, listen,
Love it. Love it.
who would have ever knew that that who would have knew that this dude had a hell of a sense of humor?
Right?
Like
Yeah,
this, and that is hilarious.
that's
Oh my
funny.
God.
So now throughout the year, Throughout the year, we got to use Trixie and Dixie
We got to
somewhere.
mention it somewhere, somehow. That
We,
was a Trixie shot. Yeah. Oh, we
It
got it. It's happening. I'll
we,
save it for
we,
nationals.
it was good. I think also I want to mention diversification.
Hmm.
Before I got into the ABA, I was deeply involved in creating Indiana Black Expo, which is one of the largest Black expos in the United States.
Hmm.
And it was at a time when race was even more significant than it is today.
Hmm.
And so I put that together and made it relevant to housing, economics, and homelessness, and education. And really, I've always seen myself as a person who has striven for equality, not DEI, but opportunity based on merit, and not exclusion based on race or religion. And so when people look back at the ABA, I proved that I can have Black and Hispanic and Asian and women owners and Native American owners working together, working with equality, that they are strong together. And I tried to make the ABA what I feel America should be like. And I think if there's a legacy, I can say I did it. My president, Damon Cannon, is Black,
Hmm.
and 6 of my 8 regional um, uh, directors are minorities, and the league itself is managed at from the top down by the very people that we serve. And we've we've we have made a really good statement. And I have a couple of other things coming out celebrating the 250th anniversary of the country, that will
Cool.
be coming out this spring and summer. So, with all the humor and all the basketball and the sports, we're serious, and I think we're serious people, and very good people, and it would be exciting to have you as a group, as part of the ABA ownership group, if you do it. But definitely, we'll look forward to seeing you at the ABA finals and having a big part of that.
No, absolutely.
Mhm.
We'll be there 100% for sure. No matter what we got going
100%.
on, I'm going to start putting, once we get that date, once you get that date to us, we're sending it to all our bosses.
And I'm gonna put it on my calendar too.
For sure. We will be there and we'll bring 110% like we always do. Oh
Be
wow.
More
ready.
I
excitement.
love, first off, Mr. Joe Newman, I love these stories. We are all historians here. We love history, and the fact that you make them so funny and you give the little details like the Trixie and the Dixie. I'm so putting that into nationals. That's happening. I don't know how, but we'll figure it out, George. Um, to flip a 180 really quick because I got to be a real journalist here. Um, it's not easy being a CEO. You talked about it earlier. You got to take the blame for a lot of stuff. You get the praise, but you get a lot of the blame as well. So I want to know, what has been the biggest obstacle so far as a CEO, and what kind of things do you endure in the conflicts? Wow, conflicts of the CEO life.
Well, I've been uh, like yourself. I have been employed. When I got out of college, I worked for IBM, and then I worked at a television station as a account executive selling television time. But since I opened an agency at about the age of 23 or 24, I've been self-employed and CEO since then. And I
Hmm.
know that a CEO is only as strong as the people around him. And
Hmm.
so I think what I've been able to do is always been able to identify good people that are able to carry out the mission of the of whatever it is that I'm doing, and to be self starters, and to have energy and passion, and that that is my secret. So when I look at my regional chairman and my division chairman, and the people, and Tom Chichester who does the referees, and Damon, I surround yourself with good people and give them a clear indication of what it is you want to achieve, and then don't micromanage. give them an opportunity to do what they do, and always put people in a decision making position. I never liked the idea of I can make this deal, but I got to talk to X,
Mm-hmm.
because whenever you see that, then you say, well, I should be talking to X myself. So you empower people, give them an opportunity. If they happen to do something wrong, then you tell them that they did it wrong, but you always back them. So whoever you talk with in the ABA, they representing the league, they have the ability to make a decision and not have to run off and say, I got to talk to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. And so Damon and I come head to head about, why did you do that? Or Charlie McCants in the South, why'd you do that? Uh, and and but by and large, they have the ability to make decisions, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what's unique about us.
It sounds like us. That's exactly how this panel is. And then we start butting heads and then we clear things up. Drew, you're our business guy. After hearing what Mr. Joe Newman just said, do you have any rebuttal or anything you relate to or anything you want to say about that?
Well, business wise, it's, you said being a CEO since the age of 23 and 24. And so it's over 60 plus years of experience in being a CEO or your own boss. It's a credit to you and a credit of what you're doing. Like, it is true. Um, I call myself Goat Stats. I call myself, Goat Sports Agency. There's a reason why. Everyone around me that I surround myself has a craft and has a gift to be a goat. And a goat is, the greatest of all time. And I believe in everyone that I surround myself with. I don't like to toot my own horn very much, but I get the praise of it. And when you bring yourself around people who are doing it right, who are doing it well, it makes your job a lot easier. When you surround yourself with people that know how to handle pretty much could extinguish a fire or know how to get something done solved without needing you, because you've already instilled that trust and that character and that belief in them. It's going to pay dividends to the fact that, now I should just kick back, and when something gets really extreme, yeah, maybe I have to step in. But for the most part, I can just kick back and know that the fire will be extinguished. The problem will solve because I've surrounded myself and I've put people in good positions to do that. And sounds to me, with your business wise, how you've done that, diversity, you believe in these other people, you surround yourself with great character and great people around you. It seems like the future is bright for which segues me into my question that I was going to save for later, but I'll use it now since it's a perfect opportunity. It's kind of almost piggybacking off what Josh said before he left, Mr. Joe, was when it's all said and done, is there a moment that you think like saying, okay, I've instilled these people with this responsibility. Now it's maybe time for me to probably hand off the torch, step aside, take a less role, and finally say, I can leave the ABA in the way I've structured it with blank, knowing that it's going to be okay? Is there a day that's going to sometimes say, like, hey, it's time for me to go have my moment in the sun and kind of just kick back and know that this league is in great hands, leaving it with blank, blank, blank?
That is really an erudite question, and uh, it is my responsibility to recognize that, being 89, I don't want to do this at 95, 100, 105, and 110. And so, yes, I think about that, and I have structured the ABA over the last 2 to 3 years that I do have in place the personnel that can operate the ABA team. And I would like to step back. My wife wants me to, and even though I have this unusual energy and still have the ability to do it, I would be irresponsible if I did not have a plan set for a successor to take over. Will that happen tomorrow or next week? I don't know, but that is very much on my mind, and very much a direction that I want to go. Having said that, my wife knows that I have a desire to do it. I am not a gardener. I am not going to start building cabinets, and I am not going to start working on a car. And so I have sitting next to me my next venture, and it is an exciting venture that that I can't scoop it on this show, other than to say that if I do turn over the reins of the ABA, which I will, uh, I'm going to start again doing something really unusual and and unique. I have a long background in the food service industry, having I was, as you probably know from my bio, I was Colonel Sanders' first ad agency,
Oh,
and Colonel
nice.
Sanders and I went around selling KFC franchises.
That's
I
cool.
was a KFC franchise myself and a couple of other restaurants, and I am now going to potentially enter into that industry again with a twist that has not been done before. And so
Okay.
uh,
His own little
some,
3D, if you will.
On my
something's
mama, I was
coming.
just about to say that.
Something is coming. And
Okay, I
Okay.
like it. You heard it
I
here
like
on
that.
Double Dribble.
Awesome. I like that answer because, they always say, go for whatever, you have a passion, Mr. Joe, and just hearing it, I like Ricky said it earlier, we all are history buffs. We all love it. I like to get in the thick of things. I surround myself with, I call them old heads. I mean, my one of my guys who got me into doing this sports stuff he's 74 years old, and he just hearing him talk around basketball because he's been around it for 60 plus, almost 70 years, and just hearing his stories and all the stuff of the old days of him playing and stuff just makes it more relatable. For there's a reason, there's, like Ricky says, there's more than life. There's life before basketball, but sometimes in a way this game has allowed us to pretty much become a family. These guys are my brothers for life. I don't care what anybody else says. These are my brothers for life, and it's all because of our love and desire for the
Hmm.
game of the sport.
nice,
Facts.
Credit.
Absolutely.
very
Absolutely.
nice.
And so you got big businesses coming, big businesses building up, and who knows what else he's going to come up with. Speaking of businesses, a quick shout out again to E1 Connect Marketing, Donovan Hilton, Malia Hilton. If you got a business online and you're trying to get it noticed, make sure you guys hit up e1connect.com because belief comes before business. So there's that. All right, I have one more business question, Joe, and then we'll get into some fun. Like this whole show hasn't been fun. Are you kidding me?
Well,
This has been
let me say
awesome. Go
something
ahead.
about your marketing company, okay?
Go ahead, sir.
Because I'm always interested in that.
Of course.
One of the questions that your marketing company should ask every prospect is, why should anybody do business with you when they could go to Walmart, Costco, or Target and get the same thing you have?
Hmm.
And you want to know something? Every one of your local businesses can't give you an answer. And if the owner of the business can't give you an answer why they should buy from them, that's what the marketing company can do. And is
Hmm.
that answer that made my ad agency grow, and that's what will make them grow.
Hmm.
Why should anybody buy anything
You.
from you? That's the only question. And if they can't give the answer, then you have a new client. There's a
Hmm.
little tip from an advertising agency to an advertising agency.
There you go. E1 Connect Marketing. You heard it right here from the man, the myth, the legend. Make sure you
I have
take
one.
notes.
I have one question before we segue. Do
Yes,
you
sir.
have do and again going back to the documentary about the ABA, that was very informative. Do you have a George Mikan story?
Ooh, this should be good.
George Mikan's source?
Story. Do you
Oh,
have a
no,
story on George on about George on George Mikan?
no,
Because
no.
at that time he was the CEO of ABA.
Yeah,
He was the
George
president.
Mikan. That, I don't have a George Mikan story, but I can tell you that Mel Daniels, you remember
Mm-hmm.
him?
Yes.
Mel Daniels, his bonus was a one-way ticket to Indianapolis to talk about the ABA, and if he signed, they'd give him a return trip.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't tell you that as two young players, Darnell Hillman and George McGinnis, I put them in the appliance business. And George McGinnis, when he was in high school, I drove a Peugeot and he couldn't fit in it because he was 6'9". So I had to open up the roof so that he could have room. It was like a little Peugeot, and I drove George McGinnis around uh, as a high schooler before he went to IU and then came to the Indiana Pacers.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome.
I have quite a few stories. You know, George Gervin's nephew played in the ABA.
Hmm.
You're aware that Dennis Rodman played in the ABA.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Okay,
Yes, he did.
and Jelly Roll Bryant, Kobe's father,
Mhm.
played in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
yes, he
At the
did.
Billy Bean.
at the age of 50, he scored 50 points in a game.
Nice. Can't plan that.
Hmm.
There's a lot of little vignette stories, I guess you would call.
Listen, he has a he have a lot of stories. You have a lot of stories that you can
Mhm.
sit outside the coffee shop, have a cup
McDonald's,
of
it's a spot.
I'm sorry, and listen, go to McDonald's, just sit at the booth and just talk for hours. Like
I
this.
I got to piggyback off of that, Mr. Joe Newman. So Joe, you talk about all these stories you're telling us. Honestly, again, we just talked about you possibly stepping down when you're ready. Have you ever thought about writing a book, or have you wrote a book before?
I I wrote I started three books because
Okay.
basically a writer.
Okay.
Okay, and I started one. I'm halfway through it, and
Nice.
it's it's called My Name is Joe. And you know what? He is a private in an army, and every single day he wakes up, he is in a different army. He might be in Napoleon's army, he might be in Frederick the Great's army, he might be in a communist or Chinese army, the Russian army, and he talks about what he's going to do that day, same person.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about all the armies through the world. The other one is Man's Inhumanity to Man, and it's about atrocities. Is how does Auschwitz happen? How do Indian massacres happen? The rape of Nanking happen? And so I describe how does Dr. Mengele operating on little babies happen? And so I had a visitor from another planet that sent down, and he is deeply involved in the background of every atrocity that has happened during mankind, and he is given one single role. If you can't stop man's inhumanity to man, we are going to shut down Earth.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and so it goes, and so I describe what it was like with the Nazis, or in a gulag, or an Indian massacre from both sides. Okay? Man's inhumanity to man, and if you don't have the ability to stop it, we'll stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I got halfway through that. And then I had another book that I was writing, which was a sales training book. I'm a sales trainer and I do sales training.
Mm-hmm.
And it was two guys sitting in a booth in a restaurant. And the manager is going to fire one of his salespeople, and it is a conversation between the manager and the salesperson as to how the salesperson has not succeeded and what he should have done. And it is a
Mm.
sales training book on how to take a person who is not achieving his or her sales goals and do it. And it comes from a course that I used to teach called People First Selling. You don't sell real estate, you don't sell insurance, you don't sell cars, you sell people real estate, you sell people insurance, you sell people cars, and subsequently you have to know more about the people than you do the product or service, because everything about your product or service you can put in a brochure or a video, but what you can't do is who it is you're selling and who it is
Mm-hmm.
you're talking to. And that's why people have always said, how do you have so many teams? Because I deal with people, I don't deal with the product. They can read all they want about the ABA and everything to do with the ABA, but there's nothing like, even though eye to eye contact, and we have a blank screen for me,
Mm-hmm.
but eye to eye contact is what does it. And I have a standard thing. Why are you here? Why are you here? Okay. And if they can't answer that question, why they're here, then you answer that for them. You
Mm-hmm.
dig into the person itself, called People First Selling. Well, I have a half a book on that. I'm good at half of books. And now I just wrote the opening for the next book that says, for many years, people have asked me to write a book about my life because I've certainly had an interesting life. And I've been told I'm a good writer, a good storyteller, funny, insightful, opinionated. Or maybe I just looked in the mirror and told myself I'm a good writer, a good storyteller, funny, insightful, and opinionated. I guess if I haven't written a book about my life in my first 89 years, it is unlikely that I will write one. I have started to write. Okay, now that's the opening of a book that will never be written. But yeah, I like to I like to write.
Okay.
It's always fun to write because you can literally I write poetry personally, and I have almost over 100 poems, original poems myself, but I always write them
Yet to hear one.
when I'm feeling. I'm not doing that on air, bro.
No.
That's not happening.
We'll
But
save it for
to
nationals.
relate, yeah, I'll save it for nationals, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, but you have to be feeling a certain way to write about a certain topic, and you're
Hmm.
saying you got these three different stories, completely different stories about three completely different things. And I just want to say I admire that. And I think that's absolutely amazing from one writer to another. I got one more business related question and then we'll jump into our little fun closing. Again, you guys are watching episode 100. I can't believe it. 5 years later, episode 100. If you guys know what we've been through, we never
You know,
thought we would be at this point. Never. 100% never thought we'd be at this point. Episode 100, The Big Boss with Mr. Joe Newman, the ABA of the Real ABA League, the American Basketball Association. What a story you've told us so far, Joe. And I thank you so much for sticking around so much longer. And I know there's a couple more things that we're really excited to hear about. You've watched our show, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
But my last business related question is I, in a respectful way, I compare you to certain business people. And one of them, honestly, I'm gonna try to say this and make it sound respectful because I know what he's going through, not off the business side, but I see a lot of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And the reason I say that is Vincent Kennedy McMahon brought up something from nothing. It was really small, it was territorial wrestling, it was, only New York, only New York, only New York. And then he started getting people from all over, and now he's sold the company. That's one thing you haven't done, and I don't see you doing. Is he sold the company, might be buying it back, but his business model was always people first. He always had reasonable pricing. He always brought in different diverse superstars, and I see a lot of that in the business way that you carry out things. So I'm just saying this as a respectful way. Who would you compare yourself to as a businessman?
Ooh, that is that is that's really hard to do. Number one, Vince McMahon is a special is a special, unique
That's a
person.
nice way to put it.
individual.
But he's done a lot for the people, so yeah.
Absolutely amazing. When you look at baseball, football, basketball, your primary sports, what he's done is absolutely incredibly good because it it created a all new sport, not wrestling,
Hmm.
not boxing, not kickboxing, but just uh, he's inspirational and was able to take that sport, which you might see as hyper masculine and only for men only, and be able to do it in such a way as a great promoter.
Hmm.
He is
That's what he is,
his
yeah.
sport. what Don King did
Mm-hmm.
with boxing and bringing boxing to the masses. He's a very special person and done a terrific job. And the idea that they're building, God, MMA behind the White House. I mean, it's just spectacular. I I think I have to say, my dad is the closest thing I have. My dad was a great salesperson, but he said, don't ever promise anything that you can't deliver, and
Mm-hmm.
don't ever say you're going to do something and
If you
don't
don't
at
do it.
least try to do it. Accept failure and be honest if you are unable to achieve something, but don't ever look someone in the eye and say, I'm going to try to do something or do something and not do it. And that will serve you. And so it's hard to look around at, at great successes, whether you start with a business success of a Donald Trump or Jamie Dimon or Ted Turner or any or uh, uh, whether it's Steve Jobs
Mm-hmm.
or anyone. I look at the exploding missile the other day
Mm-hmm.
and say what a terrible thing it is. But that pure raw entrepreneurship and original thinking and not be afraid of failure, but always look for opportunities and take a risk. I sort of model myself around those people, and and that's what I do. So I can't name a person, but I can name a type. The ability to look for an opportunity and
Mm-hmm.
take a risk and not worry about failure. And if it's taken 5 years for you to take your com your podcast and to develop it and develop it and develop it. One day you're here, the next day you're Joe Rogan. Okay, it's there for you, and if it grows, it's because of what you as a group have done. If it doesn't grow, it's because of what you as a group didn't do, and you have to be able to look in the mirror. People have heard me say this, and and look in the mirror and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the smartest of us all? And if the mirror will say back to you, you are Joe, then you have a problem. And subsequently,
Mm-hmm.
you know where you want to go with this, and you need to know that you can tweak it on a regular basis and add things to it that will get you the notoriety you need. So, like I said, send me your logo and your link, and
Mm-hmm.
that will go on the ABA website and on the ABA Facebook, and will help build your audience more. And we'll make a commitment to that. You can then begin to say that you're going to be the official voice and the PA announcer and the DJ at the ABA finals. Maybe that will build your audience more. And not that you're seeking credibility, you're just seeking to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, whatever it is that I can do to help that, that's what I will do.
No, and again, we appreciate that so much. It's funny you say that because I literally last night, because I was trying to fill in some July dates and August dates, I'm reaching out to these brand new teams. I'm really trying to reach out to the WABA teams right now because their season's about to start. And I really would like to get some of them on here. So hopefully they're watching. We can make that happen. But no, I appreciate that so much. It's already on my notes. Literally, as soon as I get this video mixed down, that's gonna be the first thing I email you. Is there any other we could talk about this off air. Somewhere else I could connect with you besides email? Do you have a personal Instagram or anything like that?
No, I don't. I am. I'm so old fashioned. I have a wall. I have a
Mhm.
wall phone and a party line.
Hey, don't. Hey, I like that. The party line. I like
Yeah.
that.
So
Is that where
so
Trixie and Dixie are? Sorry, I had to get one
yeah.
of those. I had to
Yep.
get one of
No.
those
Hey,
out there.
listen, man. Hey, you might find a little bit more than Trixie Dixie on that party line now.
I'm
Sorry,
not.
Joe. I'm sorry.
I'm not. No. I'm not technological. So no. It's
Um,
Connie Joe Newman at
that's the
AOL.com.
email. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and that we are probably AOL 3, AOL 4. I didn't even know what email addresses were, and we joined AOL
Uh,
back in the 80s. Connie's my wife, I'm Joe. So
yeah.
we did Connie Joe Newman at AOL.com. I kept it. People have said you should have an ABA email address, you should have Gmail, you should have whatever. and I've just stuck with AOL because we've been doing it now for 25,
Of
35,
course, yeah.
probably 40 years of Connie Joe Newman at
J-
AOL.com.
just putting it out there, Joe. E1 Connect Marketing. That's what Donovan does. He's really
Yeah.
good at making. He made us business emails. They made us business emails when I was with the Hounds. So just putting it out there. Just saying. But okay, cool. I'm just saying because we do want to send our logos. Drew's got his stuff as well, and George does
Look,
his own camera service as well. If you didn't know that, and he does a lot of
and
cool stuff.
you'll see it on the ABA website,
Hmm.
and you'll see it on ABA Facebook.
Love
Uh,
it.
and the traffic on the Facebook page is really good because the teams are putting interesting stuff on there, and
Hmm.
you get an audience if you're interesting, and so you want to do interesting things, and you can build the audience a lot more. You know, make it challenging
Hmm.
and make it interesting. I will mention to Damon about that. Damon has a WABA team, and
The
I'll
sound.
tell I'll have him
Yep.
contact you and see whether we
Agree.
can get one of your
Yeah.
July dates or
The WABA sound, I believe, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I did
yeah,
my research.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So and she runs the WABA, but she doesn't respond.
Okay.
She's
It's all right.
an enigma for me. So I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, no, I want to get them some exposure too, you know. I mean, these ladies, they work hard. We got a lot of hard playing ladies over here. We actually we're thinking about, or this is I could talk about this now because he's not the owner anymore. But Hamilton and I were looking into possible WABA team a
Mhm.
couple years ago. It just never happened. It was just something we had chirped about. But there's so many good players out here in the West Coast that that team would have been ridiculous. They had like Miss Tatted
I
Buckets,
tried to
the
do
Black Italian. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do
Mhm.
one with a base out of New Mexico. It
Okay.
didn't work, and I've got a lot of honing to do,
Of
and
course.
a lot of things to do to make us better. And as I said, I scooped you with a couple, or gave you a scoop of a couple of things that'll
Appreciate
happen
that.
in the week,
Uh-huh.
and so, but I'm going to have to run because it's getting a
We're
little
we're almost done right now. Can you give us like 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, Drew. All right, off the hoof, go.
No, it's been an honor and listening to everything that Mr. Joe has said, business related. We've already heard so much, so I just want to give him his kudos. The league, like I said, I'm truly blessed. Like I said, ABA gave me a chance
Hmm.
to start doing stats, and it's grown from here. You can see from the logos. I was like I said, I've worked very hard, and it's like Mr. Newman and a lot of other people have given me that opportunity. Like I say, everybody has a gift, everybody has a skill, and this league has allowed all of us, whether our playing days are over on the court, we can still do something else that's still credible and still valuable to the league, and just try to make it as best product as we can, because we got to compete with the bigger leagues that do have the
Hmm.
money. And so I'm truly in debt and honored to be part of this. And speaking just as us as a media crew, we got to do something at nationals where we actually get to play a game ourselves. It's just
Oh
a
my God,
fun.
you put it out there. Oh
I
my.
did. We're gonna play. We're gonna play.
Oh
He
Lord,
right
I'm
help
putting
us.
there.
up. I'm putting
He
up
right
Lord,
buckets
there.
against you, George. I'm
help us
going against
all.
you.
Lord, help us all.
Oh
Coach's
my
corner.
God.
Anything from the coach's standpoint?
that would be a hilarious game to coach for sure.
Oh my God.
But no, I it's just been a pleasure and an honor having a chance to actually have this conversation with you, learn more about you. This conversation today gave me a completely different perspective of you. I appreciate your contributions and everything that you've done for this league and individuals such as myself, and to be the best representation of this league the best way we possibly can. Um, I just want to say thank you for your time, because you could have been anywhere else in the world today, but you decided to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours with us. So well, I just want to say thank you for the words, and thank you for the wisdom and the stories and the intuitiveness, and thank you for believing in the dream and their dreams and mine and the vision, and just thank you for being who you are, and don't ever change, sir.
Well, I
Appreciate that.
thank you, and when you get a chance, say hi to Dom too.
Yeah, for sure.
I will.
George Ochola, Fab Five.
All right, Joe. So, who are your top five CEOs of all time from any era or any CEO person that you know about?
CEO?
Yeah, CEO.
Any business
Good.
leaders, anything like
Any
that?
business leaders, anything like that.
Let's see who would be. That is a hard question. My next time on here, because that
Oh,
that's uh,
I
that
heard
is
that. I
really
heard that.
that's really hard to say. I like original thinkers. The Thomas Watson, I guess it was, started IBM. That was good, and then uh,
Hmm.
Microsoft, original thinking. Steve Jobs with Apple to take
Right.
Right.
Apple to
Hmm.
Bill
where
Gates.
he did to look at the original Sears that created the first department store out of nothing. The Ray Kroc from San Diego
Donald.
that goes into a restaurant and creates the fast food industry and the franchise business and the real estate business he did. These are great leaders
Hmm.
so you look at and Elon Musk with not only electric cars and with SpaceX and Starlink, but original thinkers that in a world where everybody wants to copy everybody else. If it weren't for Ray Kroc, you wouldn't have
Hmm.
a Burger King or an In and Out or a Wendy's or a Hardee's,
Hmm.
but they all followed suit. You wouldn't have had a J.C. Penney's or a Woolworths or a Costco or a
Hmm.
Target without that original person that said, I will put 20 stores under one roof. Does that make sense to you?
No,
So
Yeah,
absolutely.
look at a
absolutely.
Henry Ford and you look at the automobile industry and we're going to replace horses with electric motors. Not, and so uh, those are the people I think respect that have the you mentioned Vince McMahon that creates a business that create or George Hallis that
Oh,
comes up
George
with
Hallis. Yeah.
football, and great to make it what it is today.
Hmm.
So, when I look back, I say if I can be an original thinker and do something unique, then that's it. And
Hmm.
and every one of those, believe it or not, had massive failures in their
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
lives.
true, for sure.
Okay.
I'd say
They
that all the
they
time.
they were not silver spooned
No.
people. They operated in their garage, operated out of the back of a horse
Hmm.
and buggy, operated, uh, you
Absolutely.
know,
No,
and
100.
yeah. So that's the way I think.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you talk about being unique, and you did mention this guy earlier. My segment's called ISO, one versus one. So you talked about Adam Silver earlier. Real quick, sir. One versus one game. You, ABA versus Adam Silver, NBA. What team are you choosing from the ABA, and who are you facing and why?
The obviously our champion this year was the Austin Bats.
Very good team.
Very, very strong team.
Hmm.
But over the years, and not counting Jacksonville that had won a
A few,
few
a
championships,
few. Yeah.
Detroit that won a few.
Uh,
When I look at what the Chicago Fury has to work with,
mhm.
and the way they are a top team every year and the way they play they are this combination of tough street
Absolutely.
football, hard-nosed playing. uh, I think if they had one or two players added to what Mo has on them,
Hmm.
I think I'd put the Chicago Fury into an NBA game and they could hold their own because they don't back down. I mean,
No,
they're
absolutely not.
they're a tough team, but the Austin Bats are terrific. Silicon Valley is terrific.
Yeah.
They're and well coached, well played teams, and
Hmm.
so we're gonna strengthen up. We have a few surprises this year
Uh-oh.
also with the ABA, but
I love that.
and I don't take shots at the NBA because the NBA well the NBA is the gold ring. That's why all
Yeah,
these
of
people
course.
Hmm.
they put on their sneakers, and then the G League is the silver ring. That's
Mm-hmm.
they're looking to do that, and international teams are the bronze ring.
True.
So don't attack international or the G League or the NBA because this is the dream of everybody that
Mm-hmm.
plays
It's true.
for
Yeah.
in the NBA. So God love them all, you know.
So, okay. So we're just going to say any NBA team. I love that.
Yeah.
And all respect to the Shy Fury and the Panthers. And again, rest in peace, Capri Alston this last week. We're
Yeah.
still praying for your family and for the Shy Fury family.
Yeah.
What, Mr. Joe Newman, dude, first off, thank you so much for staying over time. Thank you for your amazing stories. I couldn't think of a better guest for episode 100. You had us speechless, and we all get paid to talk here, and it's insane to me. So thank you so much. I can't wait for those books to come out. Let us know about those books. We definitely will promote the crud out of those things. Um, and it's gonna be awesome to finally meet you in person in Vegas coming up in March and April. Again, I'm Double R Ricky Rodriguez. This was episode number 100, the monumental episode 100 with Mr. Joe Newman, the CEO of the ABA. I'm done, guys. I got nothing left. On behalf of the coach, Anthony McNeely, the agent, Agent Drew, the go baller Georgia Chola, conspicuous by his absence is the commentator Joshua Pangan. I'm Double R Ricky Rodriguez. We want to say thank you to the CEO, the big boss, Mr. Joe Newman, for joining us and giving us all his amazing knowledge and just the cool background, the amazing stories that you just can't make up. We appreciate him. Thank you so much, Joe, for doing that for us. And I heard you. You said you're coming back. So
Mhm.
maybe around nationals we'll bring you back in. Does this sound good?
Anytime
Do it
I'm
live.
always available.
Hey, yeah,
There
I'm
we go.
always
We're gonna clip that.
right.
we're
So
gonna
don't
clip
forget.
that. We'll do that. Do it. Maybe we'll do it live. Who knows? Maybe a little short, little like 30-minute
Don't send
thing.
me. Don't send the logo and link. And then
No, for
I,
sure.
I was serious about an ABA team
No, we're
that would
serious too. We'll definitely talk
your
about that.
team. So give thought about that, and we'll see what will happen.
God has his reasons for everything, sir, and you're bringing one of those reasons. We don't know. So
Okay.
we appreciate you so much. Coming up next week, I believe on Sunday, is going to be episode 101, Title in Texas. It's funny you were talking about the Austin Bats, Joe, because we got Coach Ramel and Coach Williams of the ABA national champion, Austin Bats are going to be flying in here. Yeah, I said that. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm
Wow.
excited. You guys have
A
amazing
dad
rest of your
joke.
day, especially I had to get a dad joke in, especially you, Joe. Thank you so much. Tell Susie we said hi. Tell Damon we said what's up, and have an amazing rest of your day out there in Indiana, man. Thank you so, so much. And
Thank
also,
you all, and sorry, no video. Next time we'll have
you're
video.
good. We'll get you next time. We might get you live. But I got one more
He's like
thing to
the Wizard
say.
of all. He's like the wizard
He's the
behind the
wizard.
curtain,
There you
man.
go. I love that.
Behind the
So
curtain.
again, you guys, if you didn't learn anything from this show, it's that anything can happen at any time to anybody just by taking a chance. And with that said, I want to let you know times are hard, life is hard. Remember, when life hands you the ball,
Take
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 your
a
your
shot.
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 We're out of here.
Adios. Bye bye.